Hey guys, do you remember how it started whenever we decided to go on this mission trip? Okay, so like a year ago, it was like last June or July, we went through that study, the Experiencing God study, and it was so good because we all did our reading every week. And one of the chapters was on just experiencing God throughout the world and how people like live on a mission, and God's not just at work here in the U.S., but He is all around the world. And I just remember how that started so many good conversations of let's serve together.
Yeah, it was cool how the conversation just kind of sparked for a lot of people. All of a sudden, a lot of us found out that there's some passion in each one of us about going overseas and doing missions and stuff. And as we started to talk about it together, there was that just sharing of stories of like, where have you been and where have you been? And so even as we were thinking about like, what are ways that we can serve, not just here in our community, but maybe overseas as well.
So if you guys remember, we actually prayed for him quite a bit of times before group. So my cousin Briar moved to Guatemala, if you guys remember that, and he kind of came to our group and just talked about what he's doing in Guatemala as a follower of Jesus. And I mean, after all these conversations with Vanessa, with Antonio, about different ways that we could serve, Briar kind of opened the door to us and he said, I live here, and we built houses for families each week. And we kind of looked at each other and thought, this is something that we could actually do.
Yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the journey, even just to get to the trip, it was beyond what I was expecting, you know what I mean? Like even like just the excitement leading up to it, but also all the steps of like fundraising and getting the word out and having people praying for us and stuff like that. Like there was so many steps along the way that I personally wasn't anticipating. And
yeah, and we got to spend like 7.5 days with each other. It's like, that was something like in and of itself was pretty exciting for me, because like I get to hang out with you guys all the time, but only on like a Tuesday or a Sunday after church. But just to like really just have like a one-on-one time with everyone.
And just to see people in different lights as well, you really have more of a understanding of who they are. Absolutely. And you know, it's encouraging to yourself too to maybe step outside the box, go and just try something new, even if it's maybe a little uncomfortable or, you know, it's a lot of time with people. It's still, it's a positive thing because you're there for Christ.
You really like got to see like the different like giftings that God has like given each one of us. Like Antonio, there's like God just dumped the whole thing on top of you. And like Josh, you were able to like get that last wall level, and Matt, you baked yourself on top of the roof, and just like stepping back and like watching everybody work on the house was like really cool. Just to like see how now God brought us all together and was using each and every single one of us to bless that family.
And yeah, as the group, and everyone took their vacation time to go. They took, you know, I'm sure would have spent money to go on some tropical island and go and hang out all day, and sacrifice all their time to then just go and help this one family change their absolute life forever. And so 1 week of vacation time, worth it.